All right, let's get into it. Today we are talking about the new kid on the block in the AI coding world, and that is XAI's first dedicated coding model, Grok Code Fast 1. It's making a lot of noise and it's promising to really shake things up. So let's take a look at what's under the hood. So on paper, this thing sounds like a dream come true, right? It's ridiculously fast and it's one of the absolute cheapest options you can get. But you know how it goes with new tech. You have to ask, is it a little too good to be true? What's the catch? And that's really the big question we're going to unpack today. So yeah, XAI has officially thrown its hat in the ring. They've built a model that is aimed squarely at developers. This means we're not just looking at another general do-it-all AI. Nope, we're looking at a specialist.
So what's the big idea behind Grok Code Fast 1? Well, it's XAI's first crack at a pure coding model, and they really built it around two main things: speed and, you guessed it, affordability. You should think of it as a tool that's just meant to be fast and light on its feet. It's also worth pointing out that it's pretty good at what's called tool calling, basically interacting with other software right from the get-go.
Okay, so the biggest headlines you're seeing about this model, they're all about the performance numbers. I mean, speed and cost can totally make or break a tool for a developer, so let's go ahead and look at the actual figures.
And here it is, the big number, 80 tokens per second. Now, to give you some perspective, that is just blazingly fast. It's generating code almost as quickly as you can read it. For things like quick fixes or whipping up boilerplate code, that is a huge game changer. And when you put that number next to the competition, the difference is just, it's wild. It runs at literally double the speed of a major competitor like GPT-5 Mini. We're not talking about a tiny little improvement here. This is a massive leap forward in just raw output speed. And it's not just fast, it is also crazy cheap. The cost per token is right down there with Deepseek, which makes it one of the most budget-friendly models out there. That combo, speed and savings, is super powerful. But, well, this is where we get to the other side of the story. So we've established it's fast, and we've established it's cheap. But let's be real, in coding, speed means absolutely nothing if the code is just wrong or if the tool doesn't even follow your instructions. And this is where things start to get, well, a lot more complicated. You know, this one quote from an early tester pretty much says it all. Even with all that power, the model has this habit of just veering off course, even when you give it really simple, straightforward instructions. So let's break down what that actually looks like when you're using it.
Yeah, testers have found a few consistent problems. For one, its reasoning is pretty shallow, so don't expect any deep explanations. It's also got this weird sort of context amnesia. It just forgets what you told it earlier, even though it has a massive memory. You might ask it to just explain a piece of code, and it'll start editing it instead. It's these kinds of frustrating quirks that make it go off track so often.
So the really important thing to understand is why this is happening. Grok Code Fast is a pure specialist. It knows code, and that's about it. Its competitors, like GPT-5 Mini and Deepseek, they're generalist models that just happen to be really good at coding. That means they're much better at the big picture planning and complex reasoning, while Grok is more like a raw syntax machine.
All right, so with all that in mind, let's put these models head to head. This will really show us where each one shines and, where they kind of stumble.
Okay, and here is where all those trade-offs become crystal clear. Look, Grok is the hands-down winner on speed, and it's tied for the cheapest, no question. But when you look at quality and reasoning, the generalist models are way ahead. So the takeaway is pretty simple. Use Grok for quick, small edits, but for the big, complex stuff that needs real thinking, you're going to want to rely on the others. And hey, the best part is, you don't have to take my word for any of this. XAI has actually partnered with platforms like KiloCode, Rcode, and OpenCode, and they're offering free, unlimited access for a limited time. It's a really great chance to see for yourself how it might or might not fit into your own workflow. So let's pull all this together. After everything we've looked at, what's the final verdict here? Is Grok Code Fast 1 a tool you absolutely need to have?
Here's the bottom line. It's a promising but definitely flawed speedster. It's an incredible first-gen tool that is just fantastic at what it's designed for, speed and low cost. But its major limitations in reasoning mean it's not a tool you can just set loose and trust. It's a specialist that, frankly, needs a manager.
So how do you actually use this thing effectively? Well, the smartest play seems to be a hybrid approach. Think of it this way. Use a high-reasoning model like Deepseek as your architect to plan out the high-level structure and logic. And then you bring in Grok Code Fast as your coder to just hammer out all the smaller specific pieces of that plan at high speed.
And when you do it this way, you really do get the best of both worlds. You're using the thoughtful, big-picture brain of a generalist, but you're harnessing the pure, raw horsepower of a specialist for all the grunt work. It's all about using the right tool for the right job.
And that kind of leaves us with one last question. And this one's for you to think about. When it comes to your own projects, your own coding style, what's more valuable? Is it the raw, untamed speed of a specialist that needs a lot of hand-holding? Or is it the slower, more reliable, and thoughtful work of a steady expert? The answer to that is probably going to tell you whether or not Grok Code Fast has a place in your toolkit. Talk to you next time.